In this video, we're going to talk about communication. Now, this might seem like kind of an obvious one. Why are we having a video just on communication? But this is one thing that I see students really do struggle with. It is very important that you're checking your email frequently. That is going to be the number one method of communication here at Alamance Community College, and probably true in your careers. Now, every school, every career, every job has a little bit different method of communicating. So some companies might use some chats or those sorts of features a little bit more. Here at ACC, we have a program called a visa, a little bit unique to us compared to some other schools don't have that. So it's important to know what your school really does use. What are the primary methods of communication at your institute, whether it be school, workplace, wherever. It's very important that you're checking this frequently. But I do think email is probably most consistently and most commonly used throughout all industries and all platforms. It doesn't matter if you're trying to sign up for internet these days or if you're trying to buy cabinets at Lowe's, they're going to be using email. It is very important if you're in those industries or if you're trying to communicate with those industries that you are checking email and looking at that frequently. Here, let me show the ACC homepage first. Right under these quick links, we can see a lot of very important resources. Right there, email, as I mentioned several times now. As a college student, and really from here to the end of your life, you should be checking your email every single day. Now, a lot of platforms will hook up right to your phone. ACC, we use Gmail. Gmail, you can get it right to your phone. So I have a little announcement, or I have a notification set that when I get a new email, it'll alert me in some way. I think that's an excellent idea, because if your instructor has to change something about a class, or maybe there's something on an assignment that they left off, or maybe there's a correction that makes your life easier, you want to make sure that you're checking your email so you have those announcements as soon as possible. If you forgot to do something, or if there's something not quite right with the submission, your instructor might email you, and if you don't get back to them for a little bit of time, you're not going to be allowed to correct those changes. So please check your email frequently. There are some other ways that we communicate here at ACC. One is through Moodle. We are all aware of this Moodle platform. So here we can see all of the classes that we have available to us by going to the My Courses. You can see all the courses, but I can also use the messaging feature. You don't have to use the messaging feature. It's an option. A lot of times, it's just easier to go through email, and the messages will go directly to your email too. I should notice that. I should say that too. If you were to use the messaging feature, it's going to show up in your email anyways, and that's true for a lot of the platforms I'm going to discuss today. In addition to this, the Moodle system is just how your instructor is going to communicate all your assignments. So we can see all the different assignments sitting right there on the same page, or whatever page that we need to go to, right? Moodle is going to be how your instructor communicates the majority of the assignments. Now, in addition to that, there might be another platform, like in this class, we use EdReady, or you might use My Labs or Cengage or whatever the platform is. In those cases, you need to be checking those platforms too. But this is a method of communication, right? This is a way that your instructor is conveying information, so it's very important that you're reading this. In addition to these platforms, there are jump back over here, the self-service platform, the Aviso platform. These are two other ways that we have to share information. So in Aviso, this is another messaging feature. You can go over to messages, you can communicate directly with your instructor. Honestly, I think it's easier just to use the email feature, right? But again, if your instructor were to communicate with you through the messaging feature, it's going to show up in your email. Everything is going to your email. So that's the best place to look. If you want to go and use one of these other platforms, that's great, but everything's going to show back up in your email. Self-service. Self-service doesn't have the back and forth communication piece, but it is a way of communicating information. If you want to see your financial aid information, if you want to see your financial information, whatever it is, right? Your student planning, your course catalog, this is another way that we have communicated information with you. This is where you get to see your grades. You're not going to receive an email from your instructor at the end of the semester saying, hey, you got an A, you got a B, whatever it is. You're going to have to go to self-service and view your grades. So this is another place that you have to see information. And the key first source, though, is email. That is the most important place to look to see what new information is there for me. Then Moodle, another very important platform that is going to show you that most that ongoing information, that stuff that you need to do that is true from day one. Those are the two most important places I would say to get information right away here at ACC. For other occupations, like I said, there might be other platforms that they use. That is something that anytime you start a new job or a new school, you want to know what are their methods of communication. You want to be aware of what those are so that you can make sure that you are effectively communicating with those individuals.